Hello everyone, my name is Lowko, and welcome to a new StarCraft II cast. Today we got a game between, spawning in the bottom left corner of Ohana Alley. It's going to be none other than StarTale Life, one of the best Zerg players in the entire world at this very moment. And his opponent for this game is going to be none other than CreatorPrime, also one of the best Protoss players in the entire freaking world right now. So both players are one of the best in their respective races, and the crazy thing, for me at least, is that both players are actually only 15 years old. They have a really bright future ahead of them. I don't even know if they already finished high school or not. I honestly don't have a clue how that works in Korea, but I would imagine they are still in school, or maybe part-time in school, or however that works. But both are already showing some very impressive results, and if I would be in Korea and would be in their class, I would definitely become friends with them. I can tell you that much. Oh well, for all the new viewers, actually, I've been getting a lot of subscribers for the last week, or I guess it's 2 weeks or so. I've been getting a lot more subscribers than usual. If you got here because of Reddit, big heart to you. If you got here because of Husky or Team Liquid or whatever, big heart to you as well. I also want to thank Husky just really quickly for casting my game. It actually helped me a lot subscriber wise, and I hope you guys will enjoy the content that I'm putting out. I'm trying my best to actually help you guys out with any kind of Zerg tutorial that I might be able to put up, but also sometimes, like we are doing right now, I'm doing some StarCraft II casting just because, you know, that's a lot of fun and people seem to be enjoying it and I enjoy it, so why not, right? Okay, so here we go. We already have seen CreatorPrime being the most annoying pro player in the entire world. He actually is really annoying with his probes, like pretty much all the Protoss players are doing at this very point, but it looks like Life will be able to, no, he will not be able to get his hatchery up just yet. Of course, we already saw the spawning pool on the way, so it looks like he's just going to open up with a standard Zerg versus Protoss build order, like we talked about earlier. There we go, we see the 16 hatchery going down, a little bit delayed. He actually, I believe he got the overlord right before starting the hatchery, but nothing crazy going on in Camp Life. But on the other side of the map, CreatorPrime already opening up with a really early nexus after getting the pylon on the low ground. Also, the fortress on the way, as well as another pylon, so we see nothing crazy so far by Creator whatsoever. Most likely gonna put a gateway right next to this. There we go, we see already the gateway going down. And what this actually means is that Life will not be able to move into this. Of course, Life has an overlord right now. He checks that there's a little hole right here, but I would imagine he's not gonna go for any kind of pressure whatsoever. Only 2 Zerglings are out right now. He's most likely just going to be using those 2 Zerglings to chase away the probe and make sure that it goes home, or maybe the nice scouting of the 3rd base. Actually, yeah, he actually does the nice scouting on the 3rd base, which is pretty huge, because I would imagine actually that Life would be going for a 3rd base, but hold that thought, he actually already has a gas geyser up, his 2nd queen is on the way, and since he did manage to actually chase away this probe, there is no way that Creator can scout for the 3rd base right now. He actually, yeah, he doesn't know about any of this. He just saw a spawning pool, he saw a hatchery, so at this point he can assume that it is standard Zerg play. But none of that is going on. There's actually already a gas geyser on the way. I'm wondering if he actually is going to spend his first 100 gas on Zergling speed, or if he's going straight into a lair. It does look like he is going to start the metabolic boost upgrade for the Zerglings. However, this is already a little bit of a funky style for Life. Of course, at this point, Creator is most likely assuming that there is a 3rd base up for Xanax Life, or StarTale Life rather. Excuse me, the name is really confusing. It's actually called Xanax Life in this replay, because I imagine he's playing on an old account or whatever, and he's not able to name change it. But at this point, he's not even scouting with the Zealot whatsoever. What you see most of the time is actually Protoss players sending a 2nd probe if they didn't manage to scout the 3rd base of the Zerg player, or they sent out an early Zealot just in case, because it is worth actually getting picked off, even if the Zerg player, especially if the Zerg player makes 6 Zerglings rather. So here we go, he doesn't know about this. Really important point right now, but I'm really curious what is going on. He's actually already getting a lair up, as well as another extractor. No 3rd or 4th gas guys are going down just yet, but I would imagine he takes, yeah, there we go, he actually takes both of them at the exact same time. But meanwhile, on the other side of the map, we just see the 4 gas guys being taken already. Life, however, doesn't have vision of it. Kind of curious actually. You almost see all Zerg players planting at least 1 overlord right here, and maybe 1 right there, or right here, to actually scout the 3rd base, or the 3rd base and the gas guys. But it looks like none of that is going on. We see sentries moving out right now for Creator. He's already getting the robotics facility, and I would imagine he starts adding on a bunch of gateways soon, just because On this map, the Immortal All-In is incredibly good. You have a lot of chokes on this map that you can force build off. For example, those 2 chokes are incredibly easy to wall off. And here we go, he's actually going to try and sneak in with the Zerglings. He actually did get a glimpse of the robotics facility, and he also saw, I believe he saw at least 1 sentry. So he might imagine that this push is gonna come. However, we already see the Spire on the way for life right now. And since, actually, here we go, he's actually going to just now scout that the third base is only going down at the 7 minute and 45 second mark, which is incredibly late for a third base for the Zerg player. And at this point, CreatorPrime must realize that he won't be able to go for any kind of early Immortal regression. But it looks like he already figured that out because he wasn't going for it anyway. There's only just now an Immortal on the way. The first Immortal is only just now on the way, and he's actually first getting the Observer out. The Observer, of course, is going to be the one thing that will be able to fly across the map. Already another Observer, so he's actually gonna go for double Observer before anything else. And he might realize that there's some kind of tech-heavy play coming from life right now. But it could be either Infestor Zergling, could be double upgrade Infestor Zergling, it could be Mutalisk, which is actually what he is going for. But do we see? No, actually the Spire is about to be done. There's actually a bunch of gas being saved up. As you can see, about 8 Mutalisk will be able to pop at the exact same time. We have Zerglings checking and making sure that the third base isn't going down any kind of time soon, but it looks like, yeah, there we go. He's already sending a probe down. He has a lot of sentries at this point. He walled himself completely in at the natural, so there's no way. There we actually, he might get a cancel on this if he has enough Zerglings. There we go. Actually, yes, he does manage to get a cancel on that. That's pretty huge. He also manages to kill off the probe, and he might be able to sneak out a bunch of Zerglings as well. But pretty good play right here by Life. Of course, he loses those Zerglings, but he knows that Prime or the Creator wouldn't probably be moving out. So here we go. The Mutalisk are already flying across the map at the 9 minute and 50 second mark. Really early Mutalisk right now. Is he going to follow it up? Yeah, he's actually gonna go for a double evolution chamber follow-up. Not getting any upgrades whatsoever in his Spire, but he will be able to do a lot of damage right now. CreatorPrime sees them flying in right now. He only has a bunch of Stalkers out. Will it be enough to actually push him back? It might be enough. He's actually going to focus fire 2 Stalkers. Already 2 of them going down. A third and fourth one are going down as well. And superb micro right now by StarTale or by StarTale's Life rather. He's killing off a lot of Stalkers, and actually the blink upgrade is finished right now. So he actually did manage to do a lot of damage, but was it enough? Of course, he didn't manage to kill off any kind of pro production. He only managed to kill a bunch of Stalkers in exchange for a few Mutalisk. But at this point, is that enough? He didn't manage to catch Creator off guard whatsoever. He actually didn't manage to do that. But if he managed to get a console on this base once again, that would be incredibly huge. But it looks like his army, no, it is not gonna be nearly enough. However, he has a bunch of drones mining in his own third base right now, but he is still producing units as well as drones at the exact same time. So it's either he's expecting a little bit of a push by Creator really soon, but here we go, he's actually going to target fire all those sentries down. Oh my god, that's actually a really clever push. He manages to get at least 4 sentries. Those either 3 or 4 sentries, but he at the cost of a bunch of Zerglings as well as a bunch of Mutalisks. But I believe that's actually worth it. As a Protoss player, you never ever want to be losing rather those juicy sentries. Sentries are actually the main unit in the Protoss arsenal as long as they go for ground upgrades. And as you can see, that's exactly what he is doing at this point in time. So once those sentries go down, units like the Baneling become incredibly strong because there's nothing to wall them off, and they are actually pretty cost efficient versus the army that Creator has right now. He's going to push out a little tiny bit, but of course the Mutalisk are going to go into the main base as soon as he realizes that he's moving out. One Zealot actually scouting for any bases that might be going on right now, but there's none of that going on. He is taking the 4th base at this point in time. He also, well, he's only just now getting the infestation pit and the roach warren, so he did plan to stay a little bit longer on the Mutalisk Zergling kind of stack. But here we go, he actually did manage to kill off most of these sentries. He made a few extra of them, I believe, but he's not going to be able to push back his army. However, he might be going for a counterattack or going to pick up any kind of reinforcement might be going on. The War Prism is already going down. What this means is that he will not be able to reinforce his army as long as there's no probe with his army. And it looks like, no, none of that is going on at this point. But it looks like the army is getting incredibly big for CreatorPrime. Creator knows pretty much everything that is going on at this point in time. He knows that there's probably not gonna be any kind of FSs out for a little while. And he is right in that. He actually realizes that the army is really small for life at this point in time. And he actually engages the army at this perfect timing for him. Non-production going on for Prime or CreatorPrime right now, but is it going to be enough for life? I imagine it's not going to be, but of course, who am I? It's still the live player, but it's a nice spread for the Protoss player, but might it be enough? I don't know. It's hard to say, but it looks like the Immortal is going down right now. He's already losing a lot of drones. 23 drones in total already went down right here. Yeah, and I do imagine it's going to be GG for life. He did manage to pull a nice little victory if he was able to actually do a lot of damage with this mutalisk, but he doesn't manage to do so. So I want to thank you guys all for watching. Hit the like and favorite button if you enjoyed the video, as well as to subscribe if you want to see more. So I want to thank you guys all for watching. Have an awesome day. Do not forget to smile, and hopefully I see you again, guys. Bye!